Okay, Andy, you are live on YouTube, but you've got 4 minutes before you go live in real life.
Thank you.
Andy, this is Tia. The only thing that I would say definitely to mention is today is the last day to pay off those tickets. Anything not paid in full today will automatically change to a $512 ticket.
Thanks.
The office is closed, so if they're having issues, they need to send an email to eventures@naaleads.com.
Good morning. Good morning, family, friends, neighbors.
Good morning, Mr. Albright.
What's happening, Mr. Katz?
Rocking and rolling. Big plans for the big year.
2022 coming. That's like a freight train, bro.
That's right.
Shaking in its boots.
I got to have more of my friends become partners this year, man. Stock's going through the roof. We need you to get in sooner, not later. Terry and Tia, you guys fire me up. Every time I see y'all, I just start grinning. Your whole team ought to be like fired up every time I see y'all. How y'all doing?
We fired up. We're fired up, man.
Excited about the new year.
What's the big plans for this year?
5X. Go partner, baby.
Good. God, I wish we was all in the same room somewhere in Vegas.
Sounds like a plan, Andy.
Let's head that direction. Jet, somebody warm my jet up.
I'll go over there and pick it up, bring it to you.
That's a good idea right there, Terry. You probably just catch a ride with the pilots on the way down. I love it. Guys, you know, there's a lot of studies about people that have goals. I'm guessing that the people I'm looking at on here have goals. If this is my worn out, it ain't worn out yet, but this is the book that I have got my most notes in. It's how I give it a lot of credit. The title cracks me up: How to Get Everything You Ever Wanted Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible. Like, what? And I have so many people that you got to read this and then do this. I don't want to get too technical today, because I really want to work more on the feeling of being excited, and the feeling of goal setting, and the feeling of creating the great life that you get to travel the world. But I'm gonna get into a little bit of it. First of all, you're way better off to act your way into a feel than feel your way into an act. So when we talk about action, or when we talk about our activity book, it'll have a different look to it this year, but the activity, not just the goals. A lot of people want to say, hey man, I'm gonna go partner, or hey man, I'm gonna make $250,000. Hey man, it's gonna be the first year I've ever made $1 million a year. And what I want to do is I want to say, look, what are you going to do after this call? So the call's over. Let's say I run my full limit, 11 o'clock, I shut it down. What are you going to do then? Like, do you have a plan? Is it review goals with Adam Katz? Is it I'm going to make my first phone call to book my first appointment? Is it I am going to read for 15 more minutes in my goals book? Is it I am going to go to my top policies to get them issued? Like, what is the action that you need to take? And most people, they don't want to pin themselves down with activities. What they want to do is dream. And I'm not against dreaming and hoping and wishing and having this, what do you want? But I'm saying, if I could show you 100% guaranteed how to make $1 million, would you do that? And so many people are like, I'll do anything except, and it's that's typically the except, or I'm not willing to do that, Andy, how about this? Other than that, what do I need to do? And I go, well, it's hard to take the heart out of the business. It's take the heart out of your income and then tell me how to make it live without the heart. So, okay. So, I like what, I'm loving what Mark Aceta is teaching. Pay attention, get excited, don't quit. Well, this attention to details is what's going to take you over the edge. So I would encourage you, Brandon Bill, if you're talking to any of your guys, these new people you got started, if you dream build a little bit, then what you want to do is goal set. And not, so dream set is different than goal set. For example, we make phone calls on Mondays and Thursdays. So are you willing to have a goal? It sounds silly, but would you have a goal of making phone calls on Mondays and Thursdays? Like, I got all this dream up here. Now my leverage is, would you be willing to make phone calls? Now, the crazy thing is there's new people on this call listening and going like, wait, let me get this straight. He's talking about it's very simple to make $250,000 here. Yeah, it's very simple to make $1 million here. We have everything we need. We've got the multi-billion-dollar insurance companies, and we got leads, and we got sales systems, and we got strategies to make it work. What's the typical ingredient that we don't have? Is enough people or people, yeah, exactly. Enough people that'll just start picking up the phone and start doing the do. On the back of my Maybach, it says do. Because that's what got me here, is getting up in the morning, getting in the afternoon, no matter what happens. I'm sick as hell. I'm tired. I'm mad. I'm whatever's on my mind. There's a big deer outside and I want to go hunting. There's a big ball game on. Whatever it is, it's focusing on doing the do that I got to do to get what I want. My favorite definition, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to Olga. I'm going to want you to talk about your goals in a second here. Or some of your goals, some of the things that you'd like to see happen in your team. One of my favorite definitions in this book is the definition of intelligence. And it's not about IQ or if you know where, or geography, if you know where Iceland is, if you know how to speak Chinese or Mandarin, or if you know how to speak Spanish, or if you know more than 300 English words or more than 500 English words in the dictionary. The definition of intelligence here is, are you moving in the direction that gets you where you want to go? So that's the whole concept. If we can get more people in 2022 that are moving in the direction that creates forward movement to what they want. So there's really three things we do in this business. We sell and we recruit and we build. That's all one thing. That's all in that business. People say, I focus on this, I focus on that. Hey man, look, all of it matters. It's like basketball. It's like any athletic endeavor. You're going to have everything. Golf, you're going to have to put everything together. There's one of the audios I was listening to Marcus said, and he goes, everybody wants to know what's the one thing. There is no one thing. It's all the things that matters that we're going to make this happen. Olga, you've had a heck of a transition from Colombia to American to baggage handler to financial analyst, financial planner, insurance agent, now daggum you and Jason, a manager. Is he okay? Is Jason good?
Yes.
Oh, I see him now. Hey, Jason. Hey, reflect back, Olga. Were you born in America? Take it from where you were born and just kind of boom, 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 boom. Give me the high level.
Okay. Thank you, Andy and Jane Albright. We love you guys. I'm super excited for you to give me this shot to be in this amazing company. And when I think about myself, when I was in Colombia, 17 years old, with so much dreams to come to the United States, and somebody was calling me, I'm sorry. So much dreams, and I always said, I want to be in the United States of America. I want to go for the dream. I want to be there, and I always dream. And I didn't know how to come here because I couldn't get the visa, so I came from Mexico, and we paid some guys to take me from Mexico, Bimini, Bahamas. And when we go into Bahamas, the Mexican people stopped us, and we went to jail in Mexico. And thinking about so many things that happened, and finally I came to United States. We stayed there for a day in jail, and then they let us go. I don't know how much money this guy paid. And then the next day we came to Miami. In Miami, we went to New York, 17 years old. And so many things that happened through all that. But the thing was that I was here in the United States, and I said, wow, I am here in New York and working in 3-4 jobs because my father, 3 months after I was in New York, died. And my mom never worked. So my father was the only one working. So when my father died, my mom lost everything. In Colombia, we don't have no insurance, no mortgage protection, no nothing. So I was 17. I didn't know if go to Colombia or stay in New York and help my family. But I said, if I go to New York, to Colombia, how I'm going to come back? How I'm going to help my family? So I stay in New York, working 3 jobs, helping my mom, my 2 little brothers, help myself, working in different jobs for 8 years until I found a job with American Airlines. And I started to work really hard. And I knew that if you have a dream and if you want to grow, you have to keep dreaming and looking. And when I was working at American Airlines, throwing back, my back, my knees, my shoulders was so bad. For 25 years, I worked there, but I'm so grateful that I have that job and I support my family in Colombia and all that. And now I said, I know it's something big. I know it's something there. And I found the alliance. And it's something that I cannot believe because we never made the money that we're making right now. And I changed the legacy of my family. And I know that whatever we want in the United States, I'm so grateful to the United States of America that gave me the opportunity. And it's nothing like United States, nothing. And if you want to be big here with this opportunity that we have, Andy, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And I love it. I tell our agents that you have to have a dream and don't quit. It's the only thing that I say, don't quit. Even if it's hard, because it's not going to be easy. Just keep doing it. Have the goals, like the goals to make the appointments, coming Mondays and Thursdays. Let's work together. My action that I have for the new year is help the other agents to have more agency manager, because if I help them, automatically I help ourselves, Jason and me. So that is one of my biggest goals, is to help them to make sure that they come to the rally points, how important it is to be around the people that we work and really do it, Andy.
So so when you first came to us, you didn't make 6 figures the first year with us, did you?
No, I didn't. I made the first year $3,500 in the whole year.
In the whole year.
A lot of crying, a lot of struggles. My husband said, Olga, you don't have to do this. Maybe this is not for you. And I said, I'm going to show this gringo that I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it.
What's the gringo you're talking to?
To Jason and Andy Riddle. Both.
So what did you do the second year?
The second year we did like $60,000, and we made the first trip to Greece. That was our first time in Greece. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's kind of cool.
Thank God I didn't quit.
You didn't quit. So that trip from Colombia to Mexico to Bahamas and then finally in America. And then how many years you worked? 20 years with American Airlines?
25 years.
25?
Yeah, 25 years.
25 years as a baggage handler.
The baggage handler and cleaning planes, both.
And cleaning planes.
Yeah.
And then the third year, how did you do? What did you do here?
I think we did 110,000.
110,000.
And up and up.
And up and up and up and up and up. Just keep building and building. Well, Terry Edwards kind of had I want to kind of pop over here to Terry. Terry kind of had a different story, because didn't you make like $8,000 first month, Terry, or was it first week? Wasn't it crazy?
Yeah,
that
was the first month. And thank you, Andy, for having us on the call. Happy New Year to you, Jane, and the whole family. We're fired up, man. But yeah, so our first month here, we did make $8,000. But this is the thing. I had to make that money to keep what I had going on. We had just lost our job. And you talk about the dream. So I was working in credit unions and had worked my way up from being a teller all the way up to being a vice president. And then I get the CEO job down in Atlanta. But even in working through the credit unions, according to the world standards, we were successful. But we knew that God had more in store for us. So we started hustling on the side, man. We was cleaning buildings at night. We bought a janitorial franchise. We was making money, but the expenses was just as much as we were making. And then we got introduced to network marketing. And when you're talking about selling a dream of passive income, I had never heard of passive income, that people really made more money than their bills without clocking in on a job. That blew my mind. So we got fired up and got excited about that, but we never could get our income above about $2,000 a month. But the dream was there. Moved to Atlanta for the dream job. CEO, I'm a little boy from Northampton County, married this little girl from Northampton County. We executives now. We done made it, baby. Get down there, and they were like, nah, we changed our mind. And I get on Craigslist. See, when you're determined to win, it don't matter how you win, you're gonna find a scrap. I got on Craigslist. I tried to do Uber. They wouldn't let me do Uber because my license was in North Carolina. My car was registered in North Carolina. I was living in McDonough, Georgia. They was like, something ain't right with you, fool. I tried to sell credit card machines. They said, we got preset, pre-booked appointments. I was pulling up on them businesses. The businesses were closed down. They weren't even there. And then I saw an ad that said, too many leads, not enough agents. And it had a Mutual of Omaha logo. I said, now I know Mutual of Omaha. I don't know what they're doing on Craigslist. And I talked to Jason Mathis. And Jason told me Olga's story. Olga, my little wife, he says, little Colombian thing, used to be a baggage handler. Man, she's making over $8,000 a month and she done retired me. I was like, well, put me in. I said, I ain't got no license. He said, I'll make a deal with you. He said, if you get through with the online course in 7 days, I'll give you your $49 back. I said, all right. I got it done in a day and a half because I know speed kills doubt. And so got started, and that first month, just following this simple system, made over $8,000. And I was like, whoa, if I can do this every month, I ain't going back to corporate America. And I fell in love with this team, Andy Riddle, Chris Long. These guys blew my mind. Jason Mathis and Olga. And then I drove down to Burlington and met your crazy tail. Jason kept telling me, you need to go out to Burlington. I said, man, I'm from North Carolina. Ain't nothing in Burlington, man. But I went out of obligation and I met you at a TWC. And Tia was still a little skeptical about the whole situation. And I said, well, hell, if anybody going to jail, it's going to be Mutual of Omaha. I'm just a little street hustler. I would snitch on them fools. But anyway, I met you and I was like, I sat in that TWC and Oprah said she had aha moments. I had an ah hell no moment. I was like, oh hell no, ain't no way. You mean to tell me this guy, Andy Albright, just as plain spoken as I am, has built this massive company? That joker had on an $80,000 Rolex. I said, he got a starter home on his wrist. Oh, there it is right there. Of this plain spoken guy has built a company that anybody, when I say anybody, I mean anybody, the least of these to the most of these can come in here and succeed. I was fired up, started coming to these events. Oh my gosh, national convention. You got to get the national convention because big decisions are made at big events. But man, yeah, we're fired up, man. Our first year, we made 103,000. Then we made like 147. Then it went up to 203. Then it went up to 247. And then last year was like 30, no, 260, and then this year over 420,000.
So 2021, you make $420,000.
420,000, and of that, 250,000 is overrides. And you know what we're focused on. See, I've been reading through this book.
So 250,000, is that what we call residual income?
Yes, passive.
Passive income. So that 250 can go to 500,000, and you said how much of that was what you made from selling?
157,000 from selling.
So you can do another 150,000 from selling, same amount of effort, but the team that you're building, what's your plan? You made 250 this past year. What do you think you're gonna make this year in overrides?
5X, baby. We're going for $1 million. We're going for integrity partnership. Come hell or high water. I don't care if I got to die. Like, I'm at a point in my life where legacy is everything, man. So I'm going all in. I'm gonna work smarter, harder. We're gonna go bigger and faster in 2022 because I ain't getting no younger, baby.
That's crazy talk. And let's go to Jason, Olga's husband, so people see who her husband is. Jason, what is y'all's progression as far as like what y'all make this year, overrides and personal sales from Olga?
In overrides, we did this year, we'll do about $247,000. And Olga will do another, $100,000 on top of that in personal sales.
Okay. So over close to $350,000.
Yes, sir.
Life-changing, huh?
Yes, sir.
So this week, I was able to sit down with Marcusetta, and I told y'all this. I just enjoyed building this business, and did it the absolute best I know how. And what I learned from being an engineer, working in a textile mill, my experience with Amway, and one of the things in 2022, what I want to do is expose more people to this dream of $250,000, $1 million, or $2 million income. I want to expose it to them because here's what I know. I have found people that want to work and want to make a lot of money more than I have made people, or more than I have than it's been anything to do with me. It's more of like Terry Edwards was found by Jason Mathis running an ad. I helped a couple of people run ads that found Andy Riddle, and then Andy Riddle found Jason. Now, going back to Aceta, he said, Andy, at our convention, this national convention coming up January 22 and 23. So Friday and Saturday, we want people to come on up 21st and 22nd. We want people to come on up the 20th so they can be there ready to roll on the 21st. And Mark said, Andy, I really, really, really want to see you at these events, having people have fun, but I want a mix of how to and creating that feeling. I would say what I've went for in the past, Terry, is 90% feeling and 10% how to. So we want to do a whole lot more how to. We want to feed people the substance on how to. So we'll do a little bit of that even here today on the how to, as far as how to make money, how to create a crazy life in 2022. I would give you this. Here's my first how to. January 20th, you need to be in a car or in a commercial plane headed toward the big city of Burlington, North Carolina. I'm with you, Terry. There ain't much in Burlington, but that's where my daddy raised me, and that's home to me. And we built a badass convention center there. Okay. And we're going to have a meeting at that convention center, and we're going to have thousands of people there. And we're going to announce where we're going to do family reunion in July. We expect it'll be somewhere out west, Dallas, Reno, Las Vegas. We think it'll be in that world in July. But we're going to do everything we can that every single body, every human being, every person that comes up there with hopes and dreams, and if they come up there with an open heart and an open mind, we're going to show them something to change their life forever, baby. Now, for those of you that are thinking, hey, this makes sense, I want to bring a few more people with me, it's going to change your life. It'd be like if a rocket takes off and it has 4 rocket boosters, these other people that you bring with you, that's going to impact your life even more, because you'll be like, oh my God, I've changed these people's lives by inviting to this meeting. So my first how-to is figure out how to get you a ticket, how to keep that weekend reserved. The other thing I want to kind of give you a heads up on is we'll probably, as we move forward with the SETA and this strategy to get more people exposed to the business, is condense the meeting to like a Friday night. So meetings would kick off into a Friday night, and then all day Saturday, and then a Sunday morning optional service for those. So it'll be more that type of a meeting or that type of a schedule, whereas this one is going to start early Friday and go all day Friday, all day Saturday. So really a day and a half as opposed to 2 days. But that's what we've got scheduled for now. And Thursday night, we're going to do something with the agency managers. So we're going to stick with the schedule this time, and then we'll kind of adjust as we go forward. But so let's talk about how it's easy. We have a guy, I don't think he's on one of the live streams. We have a guy that made over $400,000 selling insurance, filling people's needs, answering these ads. We've got ads. We're answering these leads. We got people that fill out these leads and they say, I want to buy life insurance. I want to move my retirement money. I want to move my money from an old company to a new company. I want my money that's more secure. I want my family taken care of if I get cancer, if I have a heart attack. So when people respond to these leads, our job is to call these people and book an appointment with them. We mostly sell in the house. We do have some people that have figured out how to sell it online or on Zoom, and we're okay with that. But it's much more, what we found is for new people, it's much, much easier to get in the home with these people. So we really would like to train people to go into the home. So the how-to is get on a Zoom call when we're making phone calls. First of all, work with somebody to train you how to book an appointment. I know it sounds silly. Hey, anybody can book an appointment. But when you get the feel of what we're doing, we're not trying to sell life insurance over the phone. What we're trying to do is find out when the people are going to be home, not tell them much about insurance at all. We find out when they're going to be home, and then we go to the home. The other thing we want to make sure we're doing, and by the way, this, if y'all hadn't heard of this new tool that you punch in all the information about the client and health, it is ridiculous good. Do not, on the other hand, think that everybody understands it. Make sure, one of my guys' first appointment, he was telling me, hey man, I ran that tool. It told me exactly what to sell. And then when we got to talking, we're like, no. Because it gave him a 10-year term for a 60-year-old or a 70-year-old. And we're like, whoa, that's not going to work. We need to get something permanent for him. So no matter if he lives 10 more years, he's still got life insurance coverage. He's looking for burial insurance. So don't think that because of that tool, you're not talking to your agents. We still got to get everybody to understand what the concept is. If you go on just right what that tool tells you, you're going to have some big messes. And I just like for you to avoid another. I want the tool to be a blessing and a positive. Okay. So we get in the house, you as a new agent, you get in the house, we have phone numbers set up where you can call. You must call and get some coaching while you're in the house to make sure you do the 4 basics. And the 4 basics would, we make sure we get a sale, we get the clients covered, we get a check. Okay. Make sure that you're calling somebody, one of your managers and leaders. Let's make sure we get referrals. Make sure that we look around for what other kind of money they have, whether it's 401k, whether it's overfunding a 401k, whether it's retirement, whether it's banking account, checking account. We want to know where their money is. And we want to talk to them about the opportunity that we have. Like we've got to crush it. Terry, imagine if how many people did you say you had to make money this year, Terry? You told me how many people check.
The other day when I looked at it, it was 178 different agents that has gotten paid.
Okay. So imagine if you could get 178 people killing it on those 4 basic items. How about this, Terry? How about if you had a dozen out of over 100 people? What if you had 12 people doing those 4 basics? So it's if there's, Terry, this year, our slow down to speed up. So Brandon, Bill, I want to talk to you about, you're a young and up and coming manager. Get real serious with you. Years ago, we were smoking and tearing it up. And I was talking about training, Brandon. And here's what people said to me. And I hope you've had this thought because you're a normal person. How much training does it take to get a person to do the 4 basics? I mean, explain it to them. And either they do it or they don't. Has that ever occurred to you like that?
Every damn day.
Okay. Well, you know why they have coaches in the NBA? Those guys making $30 million a year, know why they have coaches?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Repetition. You keep hearing it over and over and over again until it sticks. And for some guys it sticks, but some guys it doesn't. But the guys that it does stick with are the guys that are going to help take you to a championship.
But shouldn't they already know? And shouldn't, they were told in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Then they were told in college for a year, 2 years, sometimes 4 years in college.
Yep.
And they still need somebody coaching.
Yep. It's like the better you get, the more coaching you need.
So think about that. Your agents who me and you think, we'll just give them 4 basics. It should be good. And that's the opposite of what we just said about the NBA and the NFL. We say you need better and better coaches the higher you get up. So for me and Terry to get frustrated with our agents, or you to get frustrated with our agents, we're the ones making the mistake. We're the ones that should say, look, let's look at it a different way. Let's say you're playing basketball and you got to learn how to dribble. Would you concede on that?
Yeah.
You concede on that, even big guys, right? Even the 7-footers and 6'8"ers. Okay. Well, we're going to have to get referrals. We're going to call that dribbling. So it is one of the things that we as a team have set forward as a basic that is important. Somebody decided that dribbling was important and the coaches believe in it. So they have all these ways to practice. So let's practice, me and you, let's practice getting a referral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so then we got a 30-minute to an hour one-on-one session on getting referrals. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then let's work on finding the money.
Mhm.
So why do we find money, Andy? Because that's what funds their retirement. The more money we find, the more tools we have to coach them and teach them about their retirement strategies, about their legacy with their children, about how to keep their home. So we tell, if you went to some of your agents, Terry, and you said, I mean, take some of the top 10 agents. Why do we find the money? Because that's how we make money. Okay. But let's talk about why we do it from a client standpoint. Talk to me. So I'll let you talk to me, Terry, but that's what we want to hear agents. If we could have agents explain why it's important. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I was in a house yesterday, Albright, and when everything issues, $18,000 in commissions in one house on 3 applications yesterday. The client, so for one, it's like, if you're doing this to truly serve people, you're going to be diligent. A lot of times we find people just go in and want to make a quick sale, quick $500, and they're out the house. But this lady had a variable universal life policy that the agent had her paying the minimum premium on. She's been paying $400 a month in it for over about 20 years, and her cash value was only $35,000. And we pulled up the annual statement, and it was going to lapse into projected to lapse in 2 years. So we took that $35,000 out, explained to her why that happened. We took that $35,000 out, put it in a single premium whole life, got us $75,000 and paid up whole life insurance just like that. Then the money that she was putting in the variable universal life, we wrote a term life express for permanent protection, $320 a month. And we wrote 160. So after I explained to her how the index universal life worked, I said, you can do your IRAs the same way, protect it against the downside. We moved $153,000 of her IRA into a fixed indexed annuity. So it's like becoming a student of the game, learning what's going to happen. What's going to happen to their money if 2008 happens again? And this lady is 61 years old. Can she afford to lose 40% of her retirement money at 61 years old? Reading what has happened historically in the market, becoming a student of this game. It's like the why is bigger than just making money. So we want to look at it from the client side of how what we're doing is adding value to their life. But then also on the agent side, it's not just about building a team. It's about building a business. It's a difference between being self-employed and having a business. So get them reading books like Robert Kiyosaki. That's step 4 to 8 steps is reading. Getting them start reading about leverage income, because what happens if you get sick and you can't personally produce? What about trying to minimize the wealth gap in America? You can't do that on a job. Man, I'm so fired up, Andy. Today, Quincy Washington walks out of a legacy federal credit union and becomes a free man.
Did he really?
Pursue his dreams. Yeah, today.
Quincy's
Today's
done.
his last day. Sebastian Chambers done walked off that good government job. But it's
What?
like, yeah. So it's like explaining what freedom is and what it does for your family. Not just about getting an override, because if override is an override. You can get an override doing a lot of things. Some stuff is illegal, but this is legal. You ain't got to look over your shoulder.
So Terry, do you think those 2 guys walked away from those good jobs because you slowed down more and talking to more of the right people, like those guys, like working with the guys you already have?
Yeah, and selling the dream, but also meeting them where they were. Like not trying to push them harder than where they wanted to go, but still giving them tail lights to say, hey man, if I can do it, you can too. Like Quincy Washington, he's been with us for 5 years doing this part-time. Also, he went through a lot of personal challenges the last 2 years. So it's like being there for people to help coach them, not only about business, but sometimes coach them through life. How to deal with going through a divorce, how to now manage co-parenting, how you going to schedule it, what's the challenges, like helping them overcome their stuff. And sometimes we overcoming our stuff too. So it's like we reaching up and then reaching back to pull up. It's like we're a family, we're a team. And selling that feel of family and being there for people when they really need you, sometimes when they're not as profitable to you. But it's like with the right ones though. Quincy has always had the capacity to do it. He just had to start believing that it was good. He's good enough and there's a seat at the table. And the only thing he got to do is sit down and eat. Sebastian Chambers already had the capacity. He just had to show his wife consistency. So we talked about his schedule. All right, what you gonna do on Mondays? When you get off of work, what time you gonna dial? Well, when you gonna run the appointments? Well, you can't forget, you got to schedule a date night in there. You don't want the Quincy to kill you. So it's like helping people like with the minor details that are important, not just the sales mechanics as well.
It's a lot. It's not just one thing. There's a lot of little things. So we're going to take more time with now, if a person refuses to work, we can't do anything with them. Except for what? Set an example. Show them tail lights. Show them tail lights by setting the example, printing money ourselves. And then the ones that are working, they're going on appointments. We've got to figure out 50, 100 different ways to explain to them that they got to recruit when they're in the home. They got to get referrals when they're in the home. They got to find the money and they got to call from the money and get a check, or they got to call from the home and get a check. You with me? So as we're hiring, as we're recruiting people, when we find the person that's capable, we go all in on getting them to 6 figures through multiple ways. Hiring other people, training other people, them selling and printing money for themselves. We got to break it down. If we got somebody capable, let's go all in and build them an agency. Let's go all in with them. 2022, getting ready to get crazy. So there's how many people that we can really go to now that we already have and really work with them on getting them proficient at the basics. But that don't mean we don't stop hiring 20 other people that are watching us do this. We don't sit still while this is happening. Hey, so Riddle, looks like you're going to have an organization right here through Jason and Terry Edwards. So all these people going full time and walking away from these good jobs, brother. What's the big time goals? Partner this year. And for the brand new people that are listening in, our company is called National Agents Alliance. And we work with these big time companies, Mutual Omaha, Transamerica, Aetna, CVS, just like CVS, the pharmacy. People don't realize it, but CVS, the pharmacy, also owns an insurance company, and we sell for them. We're the #1 exclusive provider of CVS insurance in the country. So we work with all these big companies, but we partner with a company called Integrity. Steve Young, who, the color commentator, the guy that's on Sunday afternoons, a football player, he's connected with private equity groups, and he came in and built this organization called Integrity and allowed us to become partners. So I've already become a partner. Another organization that we have, the Rock Stars, Roberts Rock Stars, Paul Roberts, become partners. and Fitzgerald, he's become a partner, and we're looking to bring in more partners. So Riddle, I know you're going to go partner this year. What else? What else? Big time goals, strategies for 2022, Mr. Andy Riddle.
Thank you, Andy. I was actually drawing them out yesterday. I was drawing the team out and kind of looking at what I didn't do a year goal. I did a 90-day goal, but I think in the next 90 days, realistically, our organization can issue pay 1.1 million. And I drew it out. So it's just like for the first 90 days of the year, my travel schedule is based around making that happen. And it's just, I drew it out here. I know you guys can't really see it, but it's just, where in the organizations are, and Jason and Olga and Terry and Tia and me and Fennell are big parts of that. You know, I hate putting these numbers on these guys, because if it's not their goals, it's not their goals, but I'll find it somewhere else if it's not. But it's in the sense of what I want to do over the next 90 days and traveling. So it's pretty exciting with the stuff we have going on leading up to national convention at the end of the month. But it's just I was booking flights yesterday like crazy, and next week I'm in Atlanta with Big Mike Hartley's going up there with me, and then Thursday I'm in Tampa. There's so many. I was just looking at that meeting the other day, Andy. It's me, Leventovich, Marisi, Hartley, Lou Abadi, Jerry Burbage, Stephanie Rodriguez. I mean, the 7 agency managers that I know of that are actually going to be there. So it's like, that's a crazy meeting. Then I'm going to spend Saturday up there in North Carolina with Terry and Tia's team. Fired up. I was just texting with Quincy Washington about how fired up I am with him and getting things rolling there. And that's just the first week of the month of the year. You know, it continues all the way through. It's just the opportunity's never been better than we've ever had before. And what you've put together, you know, being here 14 years, watching what we've done and where we come from in that 14 years, I was fired up 14 years ago when I decided to leave my job and do this full time. And now it's night and day how much better it is than it was 14 years ago. You know, I was fired up just that we had one product with mortgage protection that we could sell to. And now we have all these companies and all this great thing. We have a partnership, things I never even dreamed of having the ability to go do in our businesses. And then you've put that in front of us and given us the opportunity to go do that. It's just like, why not now go harder than ever? Why not this year take it to another level and just stop all the limiting stuff that in my head that keeps me from doing things and stopping things, because the opportunity's never been bigger and better. I mean, it is unbelievable what you've helped me create over the last 14 years and change the life of my family. Just the stuff that we get to do, but then putting these bigger opportunities in front of us and always pushing the bar to another level. You know, I talk about all my life goals when I started this 14 years ago, I achieved in the first 5 years of this business. I mean, life goals I achieved in 5 years. And then you've always pushed me and stretched that imagination of mine to go to different levels. And just looking at the ability to go partner and having the freedom and the abilities of what that will create for my legacy and my family. It's just like, why not go all in? Why there's I can't think of an excuse not to, you know what I mean? And naturally it's a life that I think I've always had. I can always come up with an excuse not to do something, but not to go partner. I can't come up with one not to, because it's like, okay, it's going to give me millions of dollars. It's going to give me freedom. It's going to give me security for my family for the rest. It's like, okay, I guess we got to do it. You know, you can't figure out a way not to. And I just thank you and Jane for stepping out and always challenging us and always pushing us to another level and just changing my family's life forever, you know, and the cool stuff we get to do now, but the cool stuff that we're going to do in the future that I've never even dreamt of doing. And you've given us the ability to do that. And the time now that the things you've put in front of us and just having the stuff to springboard with the meetings coming up the next couple of weeks. And then more importantly, the best national convention we're ever going to have at the end of the month, and just getting there to be part of it, because that's where I made my decision to do this, to leave my corporate America job and walk away from a $200,000 a year income and just be like, this is where I want to build it. Because at national convention, it's where it became real. It wasn't that little office in Jacksonville, Florida, that the guy was telling me what we could do. And he was telling us how big the dream was and what you could accomplish. It was just in that little office. I'd never envisioned it. But then I got to that big meeting and met you and saw all the lights, the music. And I was like, wow, this is actually a real company, So if you're with us in Atlanta this week or Tampa this week or North Carolina, all 3 meetings are in hotel rooms. Don't think the size of this company is that little hotel room that we're going to be doing the meeting in. It's much bigger. And it's the opportunity is gigantic. And what you've put together, Andy, to make us just take it to another level is unbelievable. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you and your whole organization. It's going to be a crazy year, man. More people free, more people walking away from jobs. It gives me cold chills. I remember I didn't have near the income or near the promise when I quit my job. I was an engineer and we had that little Amway business making us a little money. And I just wanted freedom, man. How about this? Everybody out here has a company with billions sitting there ready to buy you, ready to purchase your company and bring you in as a partner. It's set up for you. If you build a solar business or you build a dentistry business and you put in 10 years or 5 years, all kinds of effort, then you got to find somebody that's going to give you the money. And then if they give you the money, are they going to let you still participate? Are they going to give you stock? So that everything is set up and you've got people, you've got me that's went before you and I'm describing what's happened to me and how they're treating me. Paul Roberts is explaining how they treated him. Fitz is explaining to you, and we're going like, we believe in this. So there's no reason not to go all in, Andy. And I know you've hammered it for years, but I'm looking for you to just get absolutely crazy in 2022. Mike and Noel, you guys raise your hand so everybody see who y'all are, husband and wife. I spoke to Mike briefly this morning, but let's kick off with Noel because if you will, but whatever y'all want to do. But I saw something about Iceland was a goal of yours and other kind of goals and our dreams and things that you want to accomplish. And I know y'all's kids are in college and they going all their separate ways and starting their lives. So tell me what's on the agenda for the Leventoviches.
Andy, thank you so much for inviting us on the call. I get really emotionally because I'm passionate about this, but just hearing Olga and, Terry and then Andy Riddle, he speaks to me. I know his passion and I know why he's doing this. And I think it's just impressive, the people that are on this call. And if you can't see the heart, you got some problems. We'll pray for you. We have tremendous goals moving forward to 2022. And oh my gosh, we're already in 2022. It was just like yesterday I started this business. I drove 9 hours one way overnight in a van with 7 guys to go and see us sit in a meeting for 2 hours. And I got fired up. I met Andy Albright there, and that decision changed my life. It changed the course of my life. That one decision, that one question that Alex Abian, thank God, asked me if I wanted to make some money. That changed my life when I made the decision to get in that van and go. And I didn't know anything about anything. So anybody that's got any sense in your head, just take the shot. A door is open for you. Come to National Convention. Come and just see what it's about. If you don't like it, tell somebody. Don't worry about it. We'll help fix it. But I promise you, it is life-changing. That decision changed my life. It changed my world. And thank you, Andy. I hear about partner now, and I'm just like, my first paycheck was $283. I was like, oh my gosh, they actually paid me. It's real. That first paycheck, Andy, that's the paycheck where I was like, I can do this. I didn't know before, but I was like, I can do this now. Right. And so just take a shot. The door's open for you. We got big goals. Iceland's one of them. That's been on my bucket list to go. So many, like Riddle was saying, so many bucket list items and goals we've been able to hit. That's one I've wanted to go to for years. So we're going to do that at some point here coming up, but we're going partner, and Mike's got more info for you on what our goals are, but I'm just fired up for the future. I'm so excited for my kids. They grew up in this business. Mike and I didn't have kids when we started. If you have little kids, if you have older kids, it doesn't matter. If you want to, like Andy says, if you want to, how do you do it? You'll figure out a way to get it done. And so I'm so excited for what we got going on, and the team that we have behind us, coming up right along. I mean, one thing, and then I'll let Mike talk for a minute. We had, what was it, Mike? $150,000 deposited within our team last week in bank account deposits. Bam, bam, bam. Megan Wood had a $30,000 policy. Joe Dukes had a $11,000. It was just like banks didn't know what was going on. All these deposits were going in. Whoever says you can't make money in December, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I promise you can't hear. So anyway, I'll shut up now.
I love the enthusiasm. I love it, Noel. I'm so proud of you and Mike. Mike, if you had a dream for your team, what's some things you would see happening to your different people around across the country?
Man, we talk about, the goals and we've got these things we're trying to get to. We are going to get to partner here this year in the first half of the year. We're going to get our business. We know it's happening where we're hitting $1 million a month in issued volume. But it's happening because there's focus on activity goals. We're seeing each of our agents being diligent about planning their activity around 40 and 40. Whether it doesn't mean it's scientifically they're booking 40 appointments and doing 40 interviews. Maybe for them it's 25 and 18. Maybe it's 20 and 60. But either way, they're diligent on both sides of, I'm going to sell, and I'm going to do that with consistent activity through my lead plan and my dial time to get the number of appointments. I'm going to do the number of interviews because it's between me, and we're seeing them hire staff to help them accomplish it, because some people see 44, so I can't do it myself. Right. So we're seeing our staff or our agents hire staff to help them accomplish 40-40 and help them serve. We talk about serve. We see our agents being awesome at the basics. So those 4 basics, and one of them being, picking up the phone or picking up a check. Well, we also see our leaders as being good at taking those calls. Right. So we see our leaders are willing to make themselves available as they're in the hunt, whether it's them or their staff equipped to take these calls. We're seeing agents invest in leads for selling and for recruiting like crazy. We see people stepping up their lead budgets for their selling and their recruiting in a big way, like they're serious about going partner. We're seeing agents understand what Mark Acetta's teach. We're seeing our agents are digesting Mark Acetta's teaching daily and weekly with audio to reinforce these basics of how do we invite, how do we filter, how do we promote national conference. People are doing that. It's becoming institutionalized. We're seeing a huge wave of that change right now. We're seeing people knowing they've got 3 weeks to get one more registered to national conference. We know that there's hey, people say, well, the discount tickets are out there. Yeah, right. But it doesn't matter. There's people that want to be at our national conference that we're going to find over the next 3 weeks where price of the ticket don't matter. Price of a plane ticket don't matter. Pilot got COVID don't count. They're going to be there. They're not going to be like them wusses at UCLA and back out of the game 3 hours before because their toenail got hurt. They're going to be at our conference event. Sorry if you're a UCLA fan or football player. But with that said, they're going to choose to win no matter what the obstacles are, and they're going to get one more. They're going to get there for themselves. We got people that they're living this. I'm going to sell to eat, and I'm going to recruit and build to live at a high level, and I'm going to reinvest what I'm making because I've got a big enough dream, and I'm going to continue to invest in the tools that we've talked about. And another tool is we've got more people starting to gear up to set up an office space to help house their staff and give their agents a place for home. So these are the things that we see as we're moving forward, Andy. So that's what we got cooking, loving what's happening, grateful for the opportunity and the reinforcement. We do have awesome leaders, and you're seeing some of them here. And I invite anybody listening for the first time, please come to our conference event in January, meet the leadership and see what we're talking about. This here gives you a taste, but it ain't going to do it justice. Come see for yourself. Thank you, Andy.
I am so fired up about all of you. Big Mike, I see you. Bell Krause, we're going to have you teaching how to find money at the convention. And I mean, every creative way you can teach it and talk about how to find the money. Mr. Adam Katz, your little girl, Emily, and your badass team, Linda, and so many people, Argenios, and you got so many people fired up. It's going to be a crazy year. Bill, I could see your organization blowing up every time I talk to Soto. He is bragging about you, and Stephen Davies is bragging about you. Davies team, there's no telling what's going to happen this year coming into this new year. So guys, here we go. Happy New Year's. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Mike Marisi, I see you on here too. I know your business is just, I was telling somebody the other day, I said, you want to talk about graphs where the organization is going through the roof. And Lou Abadi, I know you moving up the levels chart. Hey, leaders, levels. Find out where each person is on the level chart, where they're recognized, and how we move them up. That's the focus this year, is going down and moving people up levels. Because if we move our team up levels, we're going to move up levels. You know it? It's not just hiring people. It's not just selling insurance. We're going to develop people. We're going to hire enough in width that we can get down in depth and find the people that want to do it with the right heart. And we're going to blow this thing up this year. I can't wait. I'm so excited about 2022. 2022 is going to be crazy. 2022. We got all the 22s up in there. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Happy New Year's.